My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Amores, perros. My pronunciation's probably off, but then again, I don't speak Spanish, clearly. But I heard amazing things about this movie. It's on the IMDb Top 250. Great reviews, got nominated for an Oscar. But my expectations were still pretty low because I'm doing all of Alejandro Inarritu's reviews now, and this is actually one of the last movies of his I'm watching, and all I'll say is that I'm not the biggest fan of him, so I went in hoping to think it's fine at least, and I got that. This is actually one of my favorite movies by him by default, and it's very well directed. And I do think there are some great elements of the script. It's kind of played off as an anthology story. So you've got one story early on, then second act is second story, and then the last act is the last story. And they kind of interweave a tiny bit, but for the most part, they're their own individual stories. So the first story I actually thought was very good. You know, the characters had clear goals they were trying to accomplish. They had clear motivations and how that kind of puts them in conflict with one another. I thought the brutality was highlighted very well. And you had a great performance from Gail Garcia Bernal, but Vanessa Bosch, who plays Susanna, I think she gives the best performance of this entire movie because she says one thing, but you can tell that she's clearly thinking something else, and she just communicates that in such a perfect manner. So, this first story, very good. Second story, apparently this is everyone's least favorite. I really liked this one as well. I thought it was entertaining. You just feel how one accident can really affect someone's life. And, you know, there's glimmers of hope that never turn out, and it's a bit depressing, but I thought the characters were really well developed, same with their relationships, and you felt the weight of everything. So I liked this one. And then you've got the last act, and I'm going to be honest, this one is easily the worst. I thought it was very bad. It just kills all momentum, and I just never found anything about it to be particularly interesting. So, three stories, each one different from each other, and I've been thinking about, well, how do they connect? What is Alejandro Inarritu trying to say with this movie? And everyone has their own interpretations of everything. My best interpretation of it is just the human condition. You know, there's an element that you definitely get with the dog storyline of whether you can change your nature. You know, there's some dogs in this movie that have been groomed to fight other dogs, and how that instinct just doesn't go away. And how if you got humans that are self-destructive and just digs themselves deeper and deeper holes, how after all that time they'll eventually feel regret over it. And I think it does a very good job with that. Of course, there's perfectly other valid ways to view the events in this movie, but that's what I got from it. I do really like the music by Gustavo Santaolalla. I always mispronounce his last name, but he's one of my favorites, and as soon as I heard some music here, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Gustavo. I liked the soundtrack. It was very unique. I thought this movie had some great sound mixing, but at the end of the day, it's not one I see myself revisiting. I can admire certain aspects of the filmmaking and what it's going for, but it's very long, and it's not one I feel the urge to ever go back to. If this movie was just the first two stories and it was like an hour and 40 minutes, I'd probably give it a 7, a 7.5. I'd be like, this is very good, but that last story just really didn't sit right with me, and it just adds length to an already lengthy movie. And yeah, so overall, I still recommend it. There's lots to admire about here. There's lots of great performances, but it's very long and it's a one-time watch. So I'm going to go ahead and give Amores perros a 6 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Amores perros? What did you think about it? What did you get from it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.